or good afternoon, depending on your time zone. I salute each and every one of you, Biafrans, men and women of goodwill. Today is another day that Elohim has made that we will rejoice and be glad in it. So I salute each and every one of you, Biafrans. It is another wonderful day. The day 4th of April in the year of the Lord 2024. So I salute you, everyone. Biafrans, as you come in, do well to share the program. Do well to share the program, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell that whenever we come up live, you will be notified. So Biafrans, I salute each and every one of you for coming. Today we're going to be treating a very serious case we're going to be having a serious conversation today. We want to look into Nigerian approach to the so-called citizens and the Biafran approach. For those that are still confused and not knowing where they want to pinch their tent, for them to make their decisions. So Biafrans, as you come in, I salute you. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your time zone. I salute you from here. Sonny, my brother, you are welcome. You're welcome, Sonny. Welcome to the program. And every other person that is out there, you are welcome. Share it, invite others for us to kickstart what we have to do today. We are here to educate some people, and we are also here to tell us, the Biafrans, what we are doing, that we are doing right. But many people want to talk you down or to tell you that what you're doing is not right. Diana, my sister, you're welcome. Good evening from here. You're welcome. Good evening, Mazi Jaja, and every genuine Biafrans. Good evening also, then Diana, my sister. Good evening from here, and every other genuine Biafran that is listening. We have something that we want to look into this evening. You know, a lot of people have been saying a lot of things that they cannot prove. But the Biafrans have been saying a lot of things with proof. And today we want to look into the Biafra approach, both to the struggle and to the citizens. And also to look into the Nigerian approach, both to the citizens and the government. That is what we want to look into this evening. And I also want to tell our people that the ball is still rolling. The ball is still rolling. We are already at the midfield. We are getting to their 18. We are already in their 18. Very soon you will hear the scores. And that is the declaration of Biafra. And everything will end. All this shenanigans, all of them will end. Those that want to hang themselves because they have interest in the terrorist state of Nigeria that made them to all come out against Mazi Simon Ekpa. All those shenanigans will stop once Biafra is declared. If it is a stupidity, you might have been cured of that stupidity. If it is foolishness, that foolishness must have disappeared. Or we are going to disappear it from your head. So Biafrans, I salute each and every one of you, men and women of goodwill. As the video you're looking at on the screen, I want you to listen to the voice. You might not be, but these are the group of Janjaweeds. But I made it sure that you'll be looking at Radio Fukonkwa. I want you to be looking at that face, Radio Fukonkwa. The man that have used from his comedy show, Dr. Damage. From his comedy show, he's now a big boy into the media. And he will now gather people that reasons and think cowardly like him in his shame studio to castigate and talk down on what the Biafrans collectively are doing to liberate ourselves. This is a man that I've listened, that stayed, come in contact with our leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu numerous number of times. He's been privileged to interview him numerous number of times. But all these interviews and all these things that happened, this man learnt nothing from our leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And it's not just this man is not like Dr. Matanga. Dr. Matanga is a Kenyan citizen, but he is interested in what is happening, the impunity that is happening in Nigeria. Dr. Matanga is upstanding in as much as he's not a Biafran, mark my word. He's not a Biafran, but he's speaking more with his platform. Whenever the issue of Biafra and Nigeria came up, or whenever he brings it up in his studio, he's not biased on what Biafrans are doing. He's always upright to say this is the way it is, that the Nigerians are committing crime against the Biafrans, in as much as he will try to be politically correct and to propagate his Pan-Africanism. But we have told him that without organic growth of any African country, without any African country organically growing or emanated, it can never work. The Pan-Africanism is dead on arrival, and all the time that they have been championing and sponsoring this Pan-African nonsense, they think the more they sponsor it, the more they go deeper into the pocket of the West, because everybody that is there in Pan-African whatever union that they are in, all of them are in the Western pocket. They can never stood up to do what Pan-African they purpose. Pan-Africanism was instituted. Pan-Africanism was instituted to be a rebel organization that will make it impossible for the West to come into any African country in the continent of Africa, to make it impossible for them to come to any African country and mess it up the way they have messed up all the African countries in the continent of Africa. The 54 countries in the continent of Africa has all been messed up by the West. None of these 54 countries in the continent of Africa can boast of anything on their own. Not even one. And we want to look at the Nigerian approach and the Biafran approach when it comes to citizenship and when it comes to life in general. For us to find out, Nigeria and the Biafra, which one is speaking the mind of the people, and which one is approaching the people with the hands of fellowship? Which approach is Nigeria taking on his people, those they call their citizens? And what approach are the Biafrans taking on those that they called their citizens? I digressed, but why I digress is just to bring for you what this man, that you will be hearing a Biafran addressing him and his Efulefu cohorts that are there, Umuanovia, that are there in this studio. Listen to what this our brother will say. I will say one or two in this our brother's speech before I will go to the main video we are going to be talking about this evening. I just want to use this to lay a background of what we'll be talking about this evening. Listen to this video.
You are coming. Day before yesterday, they inaugurated an office in America. You can go there and make a complaint, or you go and tell America that he's a terrorist. They should not allow him to secure that office if you think he's killing people in the East. Secondly, he's calling for a self-revelation summit.
A very vital argument. You know that this argument that you see that this person is making a blind argument. And as an argument you engage yourself in, it will be an intelligent argument. And as an argument you engage in, and you see that this is a spiritual argument. This our brother is engaging these poops with a spiritual argument. He pointed out to them the approach of the Biafrans, more especially our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, the approach he's giving to Biafra liberation movement. He asked them, because this conversation was held, that was last year, before the convention happened in Helsinki, Finland. Sorry about it. Before the convention that happened in Helsinki, Finland. That is when they have this their ugly conversation, thinking that is the time that every one of them came out in their mass, in their numbers, thinking perhaps by talking down on Simon Ekpa or saying whatever that concerns them against Simon Ekpa, that will by any means discourage him or make him to stop whatever that he's doing. This our Biafran brother is asking them, since you have a spiritual argument, or since you have been arguing that this man, our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, is whatever name that you call him, now that he's organizing an open program that doesn't restrict anybody from coming, nor coming to ask that pertinent question that you want to ask him in person. What stops any of them that you see on this studio? What stops them from taking a flight to Helsinki, Finland last year? Or what stops them? Because many of them went to Europe through desert. But the problem is, being from where you are, you will not see any desert that will take you to Finland. Or you go through the water, because many of them went to Europe through Mediterranean Sea. So since there's no desert in Finland, if you cannot find any, that you will follow through the Appian Way like you did, and you see yourself through, and you get to Europe. Because many went and they didn't succeed. So congratulations, you that succeeded. So now that you are there, you can as well use the same medium. But the only thing that was needed is for you to see yourself in Finland. Whatever means you want to go there. And as you went there as a genuine person, and there's somebody that is loving Biafrans, and somebody that wants to defend something that you know how to defend best. You that knows all the laws in the world and knows those that are breaking the law and those that are not breaking the laws. This our brother are asking them, since Simon Ekpa has been opening license offices all over the Western world, how many of you has gone to the country, those countries, United States, Japan, Finland, all these countries, how many of them have you guys gone to and tell the government of that country that this man that have come here in the name of Biafra to open a for the people, blah 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 blah. None of them are summoned courage, because some of them in the country of their board, they are neither a citizen, they are fugitives there. Many of them cannot come out openly on the street or engage in anything that the government will ask them. How do you manage to come into this country? Including some of them that claim to be doctors, and some of them that claim one thing or the other, but the place that they didn't see anything wrong with is Nigeria. But they saw everything wrong with the Biafrans that are agitating on the basis to get away from the quagmire that have killed so many souls of our people all the year long. This our brother asked them a pertinent question. What stops you guys from going to these countries and told them to stop everything that has to do with our license office? And you guys cannot do that. What stops you from going to Finland? October last year. What stops you from going to Finland and tell the Finnish government this person that is hosting a program here with the Amazonians, the Amazonian and the Biafra Helsinki Declaration? What stops you from going there and tell Finnish government that these people has been attacked, they're terrorists, that they're not supposed to have this conference here? All of you pee in your panties whenever you hear the name of Simon Ekpa. All of you are terrified whenever you hear the name of Simon Ekpa. All of you are so uncomfortable whenever you hear that name. But one thing you don't want to do is to recognize that this person is more than you can ever imagine. Just like the slogan that our Prime Minister normally uses, those early stage that he started this conversation. He said that what you don't know is bigger than you. And instead of you to come out and say that this thing honestly is bigger than you, let's allow this man and see where he will end. Since you yourself, you don't have a vision, the only vision you have ended in Nigeria. And that is why you have not been making any headway on anything that you put your hand. Because Nigeria has no headway, it has no future. And once you impress something that does not have any feature, you yourself will end somewhere. You will end on the roadside. Every one of them has come out in one way or the other fighting Simon Ekpa. While Simon Ekpa is fighting for their own collective interest, for their future. But for them to be the good boy of Nigeria, they make use of their time, make use of their energy, make use of everything that they have at their disposal to fight Simon Ekpa. This our brother asked a question that they did not answer. They were unable to answer it, and they will never be able to answer it until Biafra come. What stops you? Biafrans has liaison office that is going to be our embassies. Let this be at the back of your mind. All over the world, all over the globe. Those you call the terrorists. But those people that welcomed us in their state of abode knows we are not such thing that you called us. My brother, rest assured you're welcome. And Frank Chukuka, you're welcome, my brother. Thank you so much. So keep your good work. Keep your own good work also, my brother. You are doing great, and everyone that is here. God bless you all for coming. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that whatever, whenever, and whatever you know you cannot do, stay aside. Don't come and showcase your ignorance and showcase your foolishness and showcase your stupidity. Because records like this will speak volume on the later days, because a day of reckoning will come. When every man's deed will be tabled, will be brought to the limelight. The day this video and many that we have in our archives will be played, both on Biafra television, Biafra radio that is ready very soon. You can install it if you're in Biafra land, you can install it. in your homes. You'll be watching Simon Ekpa very soon. Many of our broadcasts will be on that channel. You can watch it live. You can watch it whenever. You can listen to it afterwards. Just like they have rotation, just like normal news broadcast and all that, and radio and television stations. We are headed somewhere. Our Prime Minister has the template of where we are going. And every one of us will continue trusting him. You can go and hug whatever. There's no transformer in the Zoological Republic because there's no light. So if it's transformer that you love hugging, you can travel to Ghana, a nearby country, and hug transformer. Let's listen to this, our brother. What he said is very vital to what we will be discussing today.
Come and discuss about this thing face to face with him. No.
They're all cowards. None of them can
This accusation are flying left, right, and center, but none of you here.
None of them here can stand before Simon Ekpa and make him. The only place they speak volume is whenever they gather like this, like a vulture. That is the only time you will see them. Every one of them will want to be politically correct. Every one of them will want to tell you that he studied in Harvard University, but after studying in Harvard University, you forget your sense there. Because somebody said, another said that common sense is not really common. When all your that after all this, your level of education and your qualifications and all the knowledge you think you have acquired all over the years, after all these things, I did not see anything wrong in Nigeria. I want to tell you that your education and everything, I don't care to know how many paper where you get it from. As good as useless if you're a professor and you didn't see anything wrong in Nigeria. Your education and everything is a waste of money and a waste of time. If you're a doctor and you see nothing wrong in Nigeria, you wasted your parents' money and you wasted your time and you wasted your own energy. Because you're worse than those that stopped, even those that stopped quarter education. Those people that had quarter education but still have their sense intact are better off than you. That have all the masters, all the degrees in the world, but you lack sense. This our brother is asking them, how many of you here has engaged Simon Ekpa one-on-one on spirit argument and not on blind argument? Because if you choose to argue with a fool has already concluded in his heart. It doesn't matter how many proof you show to him that place he stand is where he will be standing. A fool, that's why we don't engage in any foolish argument. Because a fool has decided in his heart, it doesn't matter how many proof you give to him. Because in Nigeria, you don't even need a proof for anybody to tell you that this place is a time bomb. That you're literally sitting on a keg of gunpowder. And once the trigger is pulled, you will be blown into the thin air. But upon all these things, you see nothing wrong with Nigeria. Because today you have escaped. Yeah, that's the way they see it. Once they don't, those people that are in abroad and talking rubbish, once they escape, they say, oh, I have escaped. So every other person can die. So when we talk, they will tell you, why are you speaking? After all, you're not there. So how can you now tell us you're feeling the pains of those who, since you're not feeling what they are feeling? Oh God. Elohim will continue to bless Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Eba. And he will continue to bless as many that are in diaspora and contributing and doing the needful. He will continue to bless them. Because those are the ones, the angels that Elohim have sent out in a moment like this to speak volume on behalf of the Biafrans. Let's listen.
will make that journey because you want to sell you want to sell your Igbos are killing themselves. Igbos hurt themselves because that's why.
The only reason these people celebrate that the Zoological Republic, a president, included a prime minister of another country, another nation, to be a terrorist in their own personal terrorist index. Why in the global context, in the global terrorist index, the person that is tagging another prime minister, a leader of another nation, a terrorist, is number 4. The fourth most deadliest terrorist in the whole world, in the global context. But this umefulefu, Omo Banshi, the only thing that comes out of their mouth, the only thing that they want to propagate is, oh, Igbos are not killing themselves. Oh, we are not suffering ourselves. They sit at home is suffering the people. They sit at home is bringing poverty. They sit at home is bringing this. They sit at home is bringing that. Simon, can't you be lenient? Can't you look for another way to go around this your agitation? Because to them, Simon is doing his agitation. Why they themselves he paving way for themselves to start siphon of those that are in the government. That is why we look for everything to accuse you that is fighting for them. To accuse you that is fighting for them. Just like when Moses was bringing the children of Israel out from the land of Egypt. Everything that Moses did, the Israelites, they will kick against it. Everything that Moses did, they will kick against it. Moses, does that mean that there's no grave? Was that the reason why you bring us here to all die in the wilderness? Moses, there's no food, there's no water, there's no this. As if they have all those things in quantum in the land where they're coming from. A land where you are a slave, just like you are a slave in Nigeria. Because believe it or leave it, you're a slave in Nigeria. And you're not just a slave to the British, you're a slave to Janjaweed, Normandic people. You're a slave to Normandic people. That is how low these people want you to be. To be a slave to the Normandic people. You have ended up slaving for the West. Now you want to slave for the Normandic. And the Biafrans will never be part of it. Those that are prepared themselves to be a slave to the Normandic, they can do well to go and slave for them. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, I can never be a slave to them. Rather, the Fulani will be a slave to me. Dr. Damage and his evil group are all cowards to offer to their families and friends. Selfish